we have the semifinals matchup between No Mike Pros and Canadia. Seems there was a last-minute swap out. Mr. Canada seems to have switched with Dinomar. We have Frankie in the teal of the No Mike Pros playing as the Franks. His partner in the red, Rags, playing as the Ethiopians. For the other team, Dinomar in the blue, also playing as the Ethiopians up in the north. And then his partner, an original Canadian team member, Shafiq, playing as the Khmer in the yellow.
Wow.
How do you like that matchup,
I mean,
Emperor?
Frankie's teal, so it's an automatic win right there. No. It looks good. I mean, we've seen time and again, every single Arabia match, Frankie's gone Franks for the early scout pressure. Obviously, Khmer's been a popular pick. Funny enough, we've not seen too many Ethiopians. It's mainly been Mayans that's been picked.
Yeah, a lot of Mayans. Not even that many Britons, too, now that I think about it.
I was the only one.
Who civs do you prefer?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because Khmer can also get up quite early, and obviously they have a house bonus and a convenient eco. I'd say Khmer is a lot more flexible, whereas Frank is kind of very one-dimensional. So, to say though, because also Ethiopians get the free pikeman upgrades, so that could actually be a direct counter to both civs actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the difference is that Khmer versus Franks, Khmer can do, we know that Frankie likes his very fast Scout Rush, does a 17 pop Scout Rush build that he has, which I'm going to keep my eye out to see if he's doing. I don't think he's going for it, so it looks like a more standard Franks Scout Rush for now, but the Khmer can also do a 16 pop Scout Rush, so we will see what they do end up going for.
How do you like the maps for the two teams?
Frankie has a very good map already. His main gold might be a little bit exposed, but depending on how he walls, he should be able to secure both his second and third gold. Shafiq's a little bit awkward. He has 2 forward golds, and depending on how he walls up, I mean, he should be able to secure his main golden stones, though it could be a little bit awkward there.
I think if he can be greedy, though, he can get a wall across, like...
Yeah, he should, like I said, he should be able to get that. It's just gonna force him to be a little bit more open, and like walling to the edge of the map is gonna be a little bit more difficult. We might see those ring walls that we've been seeing a lot, which, as everyone knows, I'm not a big fan of, if you can avoid it. Rags' map, probably not too bad. It's gonna be a little long wall on one side, and Dino's got a lot of exposed resources, but should be able to lock down his main gold, though, which is what matters to start.
That wall, though, that he's going down. It's
I think he's just gonna wall to the TC.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It would be nice to try and get across to that wood line. I mean, it's
Frankie's walls are actually pretty interesting. I don't know if he's. I'm gonna have to check his scouting. He doesn't scout the tree line to the southeast, but he's gonna end up belonging to both of the same sides of the map, and gonna have those other golds outside of his base actually, which could be not the best positioning. We'll have to secure his main gold, which could be potentially towered, or archers could do damage there. We'll see how that sorts itself out, though.
I think it's just kind of make sure he survives the initial pressure, and then he expands it once he has more map control.
Well, I mean, that goes for everybody. We'll see how it goes. You can expand. Yeah, obviously you can always expand later, but sometimes when there's a lot of pressure, expanding later does get difficult. Or if you lose your main gold in like feudal from like a tower rush or something, or archers, you don't have the other ones to go to just yet, right? Because they're outside and vulnerable. We have a barracks coming down from Dinomar. currently. Everybody is on their way up to feudal. Dino's everyone's relatively even. Dino's a little bit behind. Frankie with the lead up there. A pretty conservative wall actually from Rags now too.
Yeah, I mean, should be able to get a wall across there. I've always found the 2v2 maps to be more open for some reason. Just general team games, it just feels a lot more open than it used to be a good few months ago.
Yeah, I mean that is happening. A scout fight right now. Frankie hitting feudal age, able to engage with Shafiq. Earlier is going to win that fight as he is the first one up to feudal. Shafiq about to hit feudal himself now. So slight lead to
considering
Rex.
Chimera can get up a bit earlier too.
Yeah, but doesn't need the barracks, which might actually not be, which might be a bad thing for him, as he won't have any spears to defend when the scouts start coming over. The scout does arrive, able to chase it away. We'll slow that stable ever so slightly. HUDs, I missed the. Everyone's on 21 pop at the moment. I think they went up on the same pop, but I think Frankie was just a hair tighter. So I think it was 20 pops across the board.
On 23 at the moment. Dino's on 22.
Yeah, everyone's on 22 right now, but
Rags 23, Shafiq 22. So very close at the moment.
yeah, everyone's basically even.
Ahead in terms of population.
Well, villagers are even, but he was first up, so he has the scouts coming out. Third scout just came out. 2 scouts going in, attacking that gate. Shafiq has 2 scouts of his own, with a third on the way.
One good thing though is Chimera, even though the Franks have the extra HP on their scouts, you know, the houses become really nice against scout rushes.
Yeah, he should actually jump that villager into the house, and he does. Is able to save the villagers, chasing out the scouts now. Frankie does have the scout lead. Oh, has to be careful of that one scout that went forward. There you go, pulls it back. 4 scouts getting together. That's
very well done.
and now it's 4 for each. With an HP lead though for Shafiq. Fifth scout coming for Frankie, and more in production as well. Frankie looks like he's going to be going in hard on the feudal scouts. Meanwhile, we have 2 ranges up for Dinomar. No archers just yet. 2 ranges, or no archers out just yet. Rags with his 2 ranges, 3 archers coming across. Will they link up with Frankie, or are they going to go hit
the thing
elsewhere?
is that Frankie's already moving across the map to go and hit Dino.
Yep.
And we know how important it is to be.
And
2v1.
Yep, and Shafiq is playing open too, so it's going to be harder for him to go and move out, because there's always the threat of him getting hurt at home. Dinomar is nearly walled up. Will these scouts get in time? Quick! Whoa! Ooh! Just in time, blocks out the scouts. Completes the wall.
Oof. Too close for comfort, if you ask me.
Villager count pretty even. Everybody basically at 30. Ever so slightly to Rags, with Shafiq just behind 1 vill.
If Dino and Shafiq are communicating well, he would have said like, he's here, go and hit Frankie, or at least try to. Although we've got double walls coming down from Frankie at the moment.
Shafiq and Frankie and Rags are together now. The scouts are attacking the wall. The archers are coming there. Should be able to get the first house to block, but there's going to be an archer there, which is going to make it difficult to wall behind. The scouts are arriving. Only 5 scouts for Shafiq, where there's I think that's 7 scouts for Mr. Frankie.
It's 8 actually.
Oh, the other one arriving. Yep. 6 scout arrives for Shafiq though. The few archers and skirms for Dino. With those scouts for Frankie jumping on. Or jumping on Shafiq's. They're not shooting back. Dinomar's not shooting back.
No stand.
That's
oh my God, that's
also. But well, I don't know if it was no attack. It might have just been stand ground, but no fletching. No fletching is in yet for Dino.
That could be it. Yeah, probably just.
That's really
ground.
big. Rags looks like he's trying to break in. The scouts moving back into position. Right now they are together, and Dino and Shafiq are split up, which is very important. A really nice gate to quick wall behind there from Dino.
Yeah, that's really nice. Looks like Frankie's getting the farms down and getting wheelbarrows. Probably has one eye on trying to get to Castle Age before.
Fletching is now in for Dino. Scouts engaging. Rags does have the armor as well. No armory just yet for Dino. Still fighting separate. They need to find a way to get together so that they can fight with their combined forces. A lot of scouts going down for Shafiq there, furthering the scout advantage for Frankie. But they are together now. A slight archer in the skirm lead for Dino. Does he have bloodlines? I don't think he is. No bloodlines yet. But yeah, if he does get bloodlines, he will have the superior scouts, but there are none yet. Oh, the scouts going down.
Have, armor and attack though.
Trying to dance to draw fire. Exchange going pretty well. Needs to micro down the archers. All the scouts are down, and the archer advantage actually is going to Dino now.
Wow, impressive.
More archers are building up back at home for Rags, but they are able to repel that attack and are still standing.
I guess that armor more from Shafiq, making the difference.
I think there was superior archer and skirm numbers from Dino there. Yeah, the skirms definitely helped a bit. But yeah, now he has mostly skirms and doesn't have that much. Archer. Both Frankie and Shafiq are going up to Castle now. Bloodlines coming in for Shafiq. Slight lead to Castle from Frankie.
Still very, very close, actually.
Yep, all around close. A relatively even feudal age from both teams. But for the for both of the archer civs, Rags has archers, whereas there's a lot of skirms for Dino, and that does not scale very well once they get to Castle Age. As Frankie is already in Castle Age, his knights are going to be a big deal versus those skirms, which are not going to be able to deal with that very well.
No, not at all. They're immediately vulnerable.
And with how these walls are, the archers are moving to that gold, which is completely exposed. Dino might have trouble with gold in just a little bit, and Rags is on his way up.
Oof. That could be really tricky,
Dino is just a little short on food, but we'll be able to go. Does have enough gold to go up now, but if he keeps making archers and does not get any more gold, he's going to struggle. Needs to be able to take out some of those feudal age archers before Rags is up to Castle. And it looks like knights are coming over from Frankie now. The archers and knights going to be fighting together. The knights already at +2/+1.
It's not looking good for Dino, Castle Age knights against feudal archers.
And here's another instance of those circular walls being very problematic. Had he walled to the edge of the map, that gold would have been safe. Knights are in, and that's just a lot of skirms and feudal archers with the archers there to fight too. Shafiq just arriving now with just 2 knights. Pulls back to the TC.
Already having.
Oh, it looks like they're on stand ground. They weren't attacking.
Oh boy. Just that many knights though too.
Shafiq's knights fighting without backing up. That's 6 knights now for Frankie, 3 for Shafiq. And like we were saying, those are archers for Rags, where it's mostly skirms for Dino, which are not very good against the knights, and also won't be won't be crossbow when he gets up. Whereas Rags did lose most of his archers forward, but they are now crossbow. How would an Ellie do here for Shafiq instead of knights? A few Ellies actually might not be a bad idea. The problem is getting them over there in time, as they are a little bit slower. Well, yeah, Huz, but if they were there, they could make a big difference. It's just that it's a problem with getting them there. Rags telling Frankie now to take out the ranges. And the Knights are in on the woodline, picking off some Vills.
Oh my
Shafiq going
God.
to support. Good Knight numbers now from Shafiq as well. What is that? That's 6 Knights from Shafiq. So continuing to stream over. But here come crossbows from Rags. 19 crossbows coming forward now. With a significant crossbow and knight army, it's going to be very difficult to deal with. Yeah, Huds, that's what I was saying. Just maybe 1 or 2. Definitely not full. It's one thing if you can force the fight.
Dictating the game at the moment in terms of tempo.
Yep, absolutely. The aggression right now completely on Dino, who is doing a good job defending, but they are definitely feeling the pressure.
Back at home also.
Dino's also falling behind in villagers because of this pressure.
Well, Rags also has a second TC up in comparison to Dino, so that will be huge long term.
Yep, and 3 TCs for Frankie, 3 TCs for Shafiq as well. Looking to engage now. The Knights getting on top of those archers. Definitely not where they need to be. The archers moving in. Big fight going on. Yep, and 4 archers from Rags also going to Shafiq. Should be able to hit this wood line. We'll see if how he reacts to that. Back to the fight.
He's just not been on gold for so long too. But we
Shafiq
also have a
has not noticed the archers on his wood line yet. Notices, pulls the villagers back. Does have a safe wood line, so should be okay overall. And Dino pings there.
Very nicely done. Good awareness from Shafiq to notice the mini raid.
Looks like we have more archers also moving over there as well, looking to hit Shafiq while they continue to attack Dino. Dino on 2 ranges, pulled back, trying to take down his barracks as well. And still denying a lot of farming, not able to get food. Dino calls GG. Shafiq resigns.
Oh my God. GG. Man, what a difference though if Shafiq had camels or like a camel sieve to once he hit castle age to counter Franks.
Yeah, but you got crossbow there, right? So it's tough. Maybe if it was Indian camels with that little extra pierce armor, because
that might have made a
camel crossbow is worse than knight crossbow. And in between him.
Definitely. I think the early engagements though, like, the fact that Frankie got up first, it meant, they could dictate where they wanted to fight. And,
and it was just always like one or 2 numbers ahead. And then they were able to
influence the fight.
Yeah, and they were able to get grouped together earlier, and then the very, very first fights, Dino and Shafiq were separated and not able to fight as a single army, which definitely allowed Rags and Frankie to take some advantage. They ended up cleaning up that army pretty good, but then with just Dino being on skirms, Frankie being up to castle a little bit earlier, getting those knight numbers.
Especially with the Frank bonus, it's just so easy as Franks just to pour out knights as soon as you get, made all the difference. I don't know. I question though the Kemer, sure Kemer, it's strong, but maybe I don't know what other choice could you have gone instead of maybe Kemer against.
I don't think. Yeah, but I don't think Kemer is necessarily a bad choice. I think it might not have. I would have liked to have seen him go up earlier. He could have beat the Frank player going up. I think they both and Frankie didn't even do his 17 pop. He did, I think, a 20 pop.
I was surprised. Yeah, with Kemer you can get away with not having to build.
Right, with Kemer you could go anywhere between 16 and 20 easily. So I feel like that was a little bit of a lost potential there. I think. Yeah. Dino and Rags were pretty close until but once they were fighting together, starting to rely on skirms slows you down, getting up, Also, you don't have crossbow when you get up. But I mean, it has to do with how the team was able to apply the pressure there. Possibly a counterattack could have helped. And also Dino's walling also really hurt him there, right? Because his gold got threatened, which hurt him from being able to make archers. Going into that point with both of his other golds relatively exposed. Persian's better choice
Impressive,
instead of
though.
Khmer.
Throughout the
Yeah, Persians are a good one too. Swinging Yorker. Um, yeah, I mean,
I think it's just knights that
good
has
eco. It depends.
that's
There's a lot of
still
things.
really good.
What do you say?
I think it's just knights that have that upgrade, isn't it? Against
Archers? Yeah, it's nice.
not camels. Yeah.
No, that's what that's what
But
he means.
yeah,
He's saying that you have camel access, and a few camels being mixed in are it's not necessarily a bad idea, especially initially, but knight crossbow is definitely a stronger option. That said, the Khmer could have mixed in like one or two elephants, being able to just tank damage and also being stronger than the knights could help. But because if had he been defending, I think elephants could have almost definitely been a better choice. But because
and
he
tank
had to
archers
go,
as well.
he said that. But because
you
he
cut out
had
there.
to defend, well, because he had to defend Dino and had to go across the map, elephants are slow, and that could have been problematic.
Well, actually, now Khmer do have the speed bonus, so not as slow.
Well,
as they
they're
could be, but
yeah, I mean they're faster, but still slower than a
slow.
knight.
Yeah, the stats say it all. Look at the kills that Rags managed to get
Right.
and pickoffs with the archers.
Right.
Clearly, Dino losing a lot of vills in the process. Felt like they couldn't come back from that.
Okay, so we have the No Mic pros taking game one with some strong team play. Canadia still looking pretty strong, but just not able to keep up on that Arabia. It will now be their home map. Oops, wrong.
Well, Frankie and
for game number 2.
For no mic pros, they've always looked telepathically like they know what to do. It's it's actually throughout the tournament they've just like coordinated. I think by far the best out of all the duos.
Yep, for sure.
We've seen. Right, I will load the game and wait for you as usual.
I'm waiting for D.
I'm at 2 seconds. Well, the next map we're going to see is going to be 4 lakes.
Spoilers.
You're there now. It's fine.
Spoilers.
Oh, we getting a Pukuaburu pick.
Possibly, yeah. Interesting civs. All right. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Game number 2, No Mic Pros versus Canadia. We are now on Canadia's home map. We have Frankie in the orange now playing as the Berbers. In the west, we have his partner Rags in the red, again playing as the Huns. In the north, Shafiq in the yellow playing as the Malay, and Dino in the east in the blue playing as the Lithuanians.
Well, he's missed a chance to do the Lith thing, as we have been actually talking about today.
He's still going. He's still going fairly early. He looks like he went 3 on sheep, and is it looks like he's going to wood now, which is a little bit slower behind than the other the build we were talking about, but he should still be able to get on that pond fairly fast. Lithuania very strong here. Malay, if the game continues, if they're able to get to fishing traps, can be very strong with all their infinite resources. But the question is, will the game get that far? Well, with a strong fish boom, can easily go into elephants as well, with those cheap Malay elephants, which can be quite strong facing against them. Berber's big strength coming into Castle Age. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of fast castle build out of Frankie, like a fish boom into fast castle, and then maybe just mass knights taking advantage of his Hun's teammates' team bonus for those faster producing stables. He'll have faster and cheaper knights. Faster producing, that is.
That's a pretty deadly team combo, right?
Yeah, and I would guess out of this too that we'll either see crossbow, maybe crossbow into cav archer from Rags. Hard to say just yet.
Huns are one of those civs in the early game. They have so much flexibility. You know?
Yeah, tons of flexibility. I mean, he could go for a scout rush into archers, into crossbow. I mean, he could go for knights too. But with a Berber player, my guess is he probably will play the archers in Castle Age.
Yeah, I imagine that will be the case. Or even cav archers switch since they're so cheap to make.
Dino does have his dock up for shipping fish in production. No one else has a dock just yet. Looks like Shafiq is waiting to drop his dock. Oh, Isvil's gonna walk back. Catches it and drops his dock down, allowing for safety. Frankie also dropping his dock at the moment.
How much of an impact do faster moving fishing ships have? Or not really anything?
I mean, everything adds up. I mean, one of the fastest units in the game, not that this is related to this, is the Berber Trade Cog. Yep, it's one of the fastest units in the entire game. We see the no mic pros doing their pings as they locate their enemies. Frankie will have seen the dock. We'll see if we see any sneaky docks coming down anytime soon.
Interestingly, Dino and Shafiq have traded the archer cavalries, at least traditionally what you would expect from these two civs.
Yeah, probably. Yep. We'll see though. Maybe Malay goes elephants and Lithgow crossbow. Frankie is walling up the edge of the map there, making sure no sneak dock can come over. We'll see if Dino does the same. Both players need to be careful about their pawns safe. Shafiq also walling up on his side. Rags' dock is down. Looking at fishing ship numbers, Frankie's on 2, Rags was on 1, 4 for Dino, and 2 for Shafiq.
Yeah, that fish bonus will be huge for knight numbers as Dino gets up into Castle Age, or even scouts if he decides to play scouts.
Yep, it could also go up earlier. Yeah, we'll see what strategy they're going to go into. Dino is going on to gold. Frankie's blocking the board. Was it Frankie trying to lame there? Frankie's trying to lame Dino.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
We have a lamer boy. Yeah, that's big. I don't think Dino has spotted that.
Loom's also just come in for Frankie, so yeah, he'll bring it all the way back. Probably taking advantage of the Berber faster builds.
Yep.
Bring in.
Exactly. I think that's
not something
half
you see every
the.
day, actually. Could be huge.
Berbervilles can get way further with a boar. I didn't. Did you notice if he?
Huge for the scout fight next stage.
Yeah, I mean that's big.
Wow.
I mean Dino will have the fish, but still a boar is nothing to snuff at. I'm very surprised that he hasn't tried to take that yet. He has pushed his deer though. He's taking 3 deer currently.
True.
And Shafiq actually the first getting up, probably taking advantage of the Malay bonus. Interesting that he's just straight up walling out the pond versus including like the pond in his base. But you have a stable coming down for Shafiq.
One thing, that is interesting.
Stable
so
for Rags.
I guess we'll see archers opening, or no, sorry, scouts opening for both of them.
And
I think bird style. Wow. There you go.
I think
The man said it himself.
Looks kind of like both Frankie and Dino want a fast castle, and Shafiq and Rags are going scouts, I think. We see 2 scouts from Shafiq and a spear now heading over to Rags' base.
Yeah, I think scouts is the right move.
Stable blacksmith coming down from Dino, who nearly has the food. Is gonna go. Yep, is gonna be going castle, and sure Frankie's probably close.
Map. You want to try and Ooh, he might get a Vil pick off.
Actually, no. Frankie won't be going castle. Frankie's going scouts as well.
Interesting.
Looks like a slight scout lead for Rags at the moment, though Shafiq does have 2 scouts. Frankie losing his scout over by Dino's gold, but here come his scouts now to attack. He could potentially run around the TC, as there's not a lot of Vils near the TC to shoot arrows and still get into that wood line, which could be potentially bad for Dino there. Also needs to be careful of an overchop soon.
Yeah, that could be detrimental.
We have the scouts of Rags moving over to Shafiq's base. Now looks like we have ranges behind. Looks like Shafiq will be switching into Archer. Nope, and he's gonna build to pick up off a villager. Nope, we don't see any quick walls on the. Oh, here they come, quick walls on the wood line. It's going to need more. Here come the scouts.
And he's not as he's
Frankie jumping on top of some Vils, now blocking with 1 scout and attacking with the others. Managed to get one of the buried villagers. Quick walls coming down on the wood line.
Yeah, as you said though, there's the danger of being ranged by archers if Frankie decides to switch.
That's also true.
Dino is up to castle age, so let's see if we can get Knight take advantage of Knight's MC.
I want to see how's Dino scouting. How many relics has he found? Oh, like nothing. Very little scouting actually. I wonder if that's just because he pushes deer or what. Rags' scouts now coming over. Oh nope, everybody. Looks like Frankie's heading over to Shafiq.
Probably to try deal
Rags going forward with his... Sorry, not Rags. Dino going forward with his knights. See what damage he's able to do. A lot of scouts now at Shafiq's base. 2 spears are there. 2 scouts and some Vils and a couple of archers. The scouts do pull back.
Look over at Frankie's base, though. There is a hole. Yep. Actually.
It's 2.
So those knights will get in.
Knights are in. Have not found any damage yet. Dino Mike Pros looking for blood over by Shafiq. How many fish for blue? That seems like too much.
A lot of scouts.
No, that's 12. I think that's okay. The knights are coming in. Can he quick wall in time? Oh, there's a hole. Knight gets into the wood line.
Oh, there's always a hole.
No upgrades on those knights just yet. I don't think any of the Vils have gone down just yet. Knights on the gold as well. Being forced off gold and wood. Does have a second wood line.
Oh, 1 Vil goes down.
1 Vil does go down, and a lot are idle now. Vil's coming back out. Will those knights be able to dive back on? Oh, we had a sneaky dock from Frankie, who does have a fire ship out in Dino's fish, which is big. Dino is making a fire ship of his own, but will be behind and can lose some of those fish which he needs. Rags' scouts now coming over to Dino as well, trying to find some damage. Is not able to find anything just yet. Knight still running around in Frankie's eco, snipes a Vil off of the farms. Needs to be careful not to lose that to the TC fire.
He's still gold short too, of getting up.
Oh, and the scouts are in on the overchop. That overchop that I was warning about. Rags' scouts get in on Dino's woodline. I just don't like Dino's walling here. Dino needed to wall out that pond to prevent that Frankie's ships. Now he's losing all of his food, most of his food eco, and those scouts do take some damage, but we're able to push him off wood and doesn't have a safe wood anymore. Frankie even has scouts over in the north by Shafiq's base. I don't think Shafiq has managed to move out of his base yet. Is still playing open.
Football's coming down.
Yep, and a nice block shoot. Got a couple pokes in with the spear, but no scouts go down. Knights from Dino still chilling in Frankie's base.
Should get it. Oh,
is forcing repairs.
2 scouts down.
Where? By Frankie's? Yeah, I see them. Rags' scouts still running around Dino's base. Looks like they're seeing what damage they can find. The knights of Dino's in Frankie's base trying to get through some of those houses and palisades, forcing repairs from Frankie. Dino's been mostly pushed off of fish. He's had to rebuild a little bit. Does have 2 fire ships versus Frankie's 1, but it might be difficult to deal with that dock. Shafiq moving out with his archers now on his way up to castle. Frankie is also up on his way to castle. And we see a couple of spearmen from Rags coming in.
I think it would have been nice for, considering Frankie's outnumbered on water with the fire ships, it's always better just to target and take out as many fishing ships as possible.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot to look at.
True.
Shafiq's archers are going back. I don't know where Shafiq's going with his archers. I thought they were going forward. Maybe he pulled back because he wanted to wait for castle, but looks like they're recording knights from Dino going more towards Rags now.
But interestingly,
the team walls. Yep, team walls from the No Mic Bros.
Very.
Dino's knights pulling out. Still no upgrades versus the +2 from Rags. And I don't think he doesn't have no monastery yet, and has not been able to get any relics.
He's not taking advantage of his tech boost.
I think Frankie's gonna wall this. Sorry.